All right. Good evening and welcome, everyone. My name is Alante Harrison, and I am honored and pleased to serve as the president of the Camp Springs Civic Association. It is wonderful to see many familiar faces and welcome our new neighbors and guests this evening. Our association is the heart of what makes Camp Springs such a special place to live. Together, we are building a stronger, safer, and more vibrant community for everyone. We have made great strides over the years, from organizing a successful annual cleanup, community meetups, and advocating for local improvements. Our work relies on the collective spirit of our community, the same spirit that brings us together tonight. As we look to the future, we have exciting plans to make the neighborhoods even more better than we can, but we can't do it alone. To fund our community projects, from equipment like cameras for recording our in-house meetings to post online to our websites and Facebook, like community signage that will help spread awareness of our meetings and throughout the community, and to promote even local events. We need your financial support. Even a small donation can make a significant impact. But your contribution isn't just about money. We also need your passion, your skills, and your time of volunteering is the bedrock of our association, because we are all residents, giving our time and money, whether to help organize an event, join a neighborhood watch, or simply lending a hand when needed. Every action, big or small, has a positive impact. I want to thank all of our dedicated volunteers who have already given so much. Your timeless efforts are why we truly make a difference. For those who haven't yet gotten involved, I encourage you to join us. We have information available on our website. You can check it out after this meeting, and you can sign up to volunteer or make a donation. And together, we can continue to build a community we all are proud of to call home. All right. Now, I want to, before we get started to our agenda, I want to make sure that I want to make sure that you understand what's happening this week in the community. So I want to give a couple of things that's happening this Saturday, starting Saturday at Crossland High School. It's a Crossland High School homecoming parade. It's Saturday, October the 11th, and it's from 9 a.m. and it's going to start at Thurgood Marshall. We're going to be. I'm going to be there, and I encourage you to join me there if you have time, or if you have time to join me, walking the parade. Also, we have after that, it's the Faith in Blue. It's right off of Pageant's Corner, and that's right at 74 Allentown Road. It's right there where the Giant is, and that's from 11 to 3. So if you have time in your Saturday, which I will be bouncing from place to place to place, come out and do that. Also, I want to mention that there's a Farm Fresh uh, 13th annual sickle cell disease fundraiser and free fun family event. And this is going to be at the Showplace Arena. And it's also on Saturday, and that's from 12 to 5. They have horses and things for the kids, and they have a whole lineup of things that's happening out there. I just want to give you guys to understand that what's happening in the community that came across my desk. Also, I'm gonna give you a couple of things that we have also here in the community. We have a community cleanup it's along with the Clean and Green Elevate the Scene, and that's from our county exec, and that's going to be here Saturday, October the 27th, and that's from 9 to 11, and we're going to be on Second Avenue, right off of Second Avenue.
Excuse me,
Uh, yes,
President. That's
yes,
October 25th.
October 20. Yes, ma'am. October the 25th. Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
October the 25th. Oh, that's right. That date was changed. October the 25th, from 9 to 11. And we're going to be posted up at Second Ave, right off of Allentown Road. And I know that things are going, that we have a lot of things going on not in the community, but all over. And I just want to let you know about a couple of food drives that we have. We have a food drive that's going to be at Thurgood Marshall, and that's going to be October the 20th from 8 to 1:30 at Thurgood Marshall, and that's 4909 Brinkley Road in Camp Springs. And also every Tuesday at St. Stephen's Church, and that's at 5757 Temple Hills Road. They have a food giveaway. I don't have the time here, but it's every Tuesday at St. Stephen's Church. All right, with that been said, let's move on. Let's move on to our agenda, and I want to introduce Major Massey from Division 4. Is he available to give us a report?
Good evening. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah, Miss Taylor reached out to me. I can't say no to Miss Taylor. Love her to death. So I took command of Oxon Hill back in March. This is my 24th year of just protecting and serving the community I live in, community I raised my family in. But when I took command, it was around the time when a lot of the HOAs and civic associations were on break. So now I'm trying to get around to introduce myself and see as many people as I can, to hear the concerns of what's going on in my community. And I tell everybody, and Miss Taylor knows, every meeting I tell people, I don't know some things unless you tell me. So when people come out to these meetings, I love it. I love the chance to interact. You were talking about Faith in Blue. I'll be out there Saturday as well. Please come on out. Tell me what's going on in your communities. And one thing I stand on is if you tell me something's going on, we're going to address it. I do my best to, but what I'm not going to do is not going to fall on a deaf ear. In terms of Oxon Hill, just a little overview of what we're looking like just overall in the county, and then kind of what we're seeing in the Oxon Hill area. So down in Oxon Hill, you have 141 officers that are assigned to Oxon Hill that are protecting and serving the community. Overall crime in the county is down 15%, which is phenomenal. Property crime is down 13%, and our violent crime is down 22%, which is extraordinary. When it comes to our property crime, our biggest things that we're seeing are theft from autos and package thefts. You're leaving your purse in your car, you're leaving your phone in your car. People see it, they take advantage, they take that opportunity to steal things out of your vehicle. We get that all the time. And then Amazon season's coming up. Amazon Prime, you getting packages delivered. The people that's taking opportunities to steal packages as well. So those are kind of our big drivers for property crime. When it comes to violent crime, what we're seeing is just simple assault. I don't like you, you don't like me, and we fight. And somebody calls the police. To be honest with you, I'll take that all day long over somebody getting stabbed, shot, or murdered. And it's really just everybody's on pins and needles as of lately, and there's a lot of assaults going on. But those are kind of the big violent crimes that we have. But again, I'll take that as long as our numbers continue to get lower. It's starting to get cold outside. So what we're going to start seeing, and happens every year, you go out in the morning, warm the car up, somebody's waiting for you. They're seeing what you're doing. They're seeing your patterns. They hop in your car, they steal it. You go into the gas station, get gas. You don't want to turn your car off. They're sitting at the gas station. They're just watching you. They hop in your car and they steal it. So please be very mindful of car locks. Be very mindful of those secondary security systems on your car where somebody gets in your car, taps on the brake, and shuts your car off completely. A lot of these newer cars with the push to start, I can steal your car. I can drive around all day long. As long as I don't turn it off, it can keep rolling. So I'll go to the gas station. I'll put gas in your car. I will keep your car running as long as possible and do whatever other nefarious things I want to do with your car. And then lastly, again, holiday season's coming, lots more packages. We're going to have a lot more package thefts. People come up to your porch, taking your things of that nature. Make sure you invest in those rain cams. Make sure you invest in lighting. Make sure you are connected with your community to know. I see somebody in my community that's not supposed to be here. They're going from house to house, looking at porches and mailbox. Call us. We'll come. We'll handle that business. But from a crime standpoint, that's kind of what we're seeing across the county. But other than that, I know, I believe Corporal Miller is also on the call as well. Any issues, problems, concerns, bring it to him. But I really appreciate you giving me some time just to meet everybody, to see my face, and hopefully I'll see you all in person at some point.
Yes, and we want to say welcome again. Welcome to the Kansas Marine Civic Association, and welcome to the community. We're excited. We're always excited to meet our cops, officers, and people that protect us. So we take that very seriously.
I appreciate you all.
Yes. You speaking of Corporal Miller, I guess we have to go to him if he's on the line. We can go right to our next cops officer. Corporal Miller, you here?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, he don't take all my thunder, so I'm all my info, but I do have a couple of things that's been going on in the Camp Springs area.
Okay.
So, looking over the last 2 months, we've had 4 theft from autos, as he said. People are leaving stuff in their cars, whether it's in their driveway or in front of their house. So we've had 4 theft from autos in the Camp Springs area. We've had 3 stolen vehicles in the Camp Springs area. And we've had 1 assault that was in 6300 block of Allentown Road, which detectives are investigating right now. So, and that's one of them simple assaults.
Okay.
That's all I have for crime report in Camp Springs area.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate your report. We're gonna move down to the line. Is Corporal
Wait a
Diggs?
minute,
Well,
wait a
go ahead.
minute, wait a minute, you have to see if people want to have questions. Questions,
Okay.
any questions? You do.
Anyone has any questions? Go ahead, Ms. Taylor. Go ahead. I see your hand up, Mr.
So I want to thank the major
Yes.
for coming on, and we appreciate you. We appreciate, like he said, all our officers. But Corporal Miller, what area are these thefts?
Let's see. 1 on Edgemere Court, 1 on Old Branch. The stolen vehicles on Northam Road, and theft from auto on Felding Lane. Then 1 is on Beach Road. They consider that Camp Springs. Stolen vehicle, Middleton Lane, and stolen vehicle, Stephen Patico Court.
No court?
Pettko.
I don't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta look that street up too. It is in the area.
Wow.
Okay.
So we're being targeted by crime. Because Middleton Lane it's like it's a fast street. Interesting.
I mean, well, it's about opportunity, like the
Right.
major said. You know, a lot of people. I got family members in my that don't believe when I tell them remove everything from your car. Well, it look like people left stuff in their car, and you know, people roam at night, late at night. These people got stuff stolen out their car. So it's all crimes. Some crimes are just about opportunity. They had opportunity, they saw it, they took it. So.
Right. Thank you so much. Does anyone else have any questions for Ms. McGann? You have I see.
Yes, one of the things that I'm listening to the officers, and I've heard that over and over again, looking at the reality, the holidays are coming up soon. And a number of us, and I think most of the time, I'm gonna say this, it might be women, and I'm one of them, you know, you a lot of stuff in your car, you'll stop by and do this. I mean, some things it might be important or we can take the time, I don't know if it needs to be at a meeting or organize a time where you all can come talk to us about safety issues. Because a number of times, you know, especially the world now, I rarely have in the past locked my car, and because it's in my driveway. But we know now because a number of things are happening. I'm just thinking it might be a good thing. I'm just throwing it out there for us to kind of organize, if you all would be willing to come and provide some tips, safety during the holidays or something like that.
Yes, ma'am. 1,000%. I have a great team. We can come together. But not only that, I would like to hear ahead of time what your concerns are. That way, when we do meet with you all, we can not only just focus on the safety tips, but also things that are going on in your community. But yes, that's easy work, not a problem. But thank you for bringing that to our attention. But yes, we'll coordinate that, and we can do that sooner than later. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
Hi. I was wondering, are you all still providing the club for certain vehicles. I remember, I think it was last year you said that maybe you guys had possibly for the Hyundais and Kias. Am I
No,
correct?
you're correct. Yeah, we still do. I have to check to see how many we have left. Normally, once we start getting low, we can reach out to Hyundai or Kia. They normally will supply us with some more, and then we can do a giveaway. But I got to check to see what our stocks look like. If we don't have some, then we can always reach out to our Community First Division and some other entities on the county that have some as well. But yes, we can also add that to when we actually do come out and have our safety meeting with you all. But yes, we do still provide clubs specifically for Hondas and Kias.
If you need a club, you can just give me a call and I'll bring one to your house.
Okay, I appreciate that. I have a vehicle, but my son that's off at college, my mother gave us her old vehicle, and so it sits there, and I get nervous, because it can't quite fit in my driveway, and
Okay.
it's just sitting there. So I just want to make sure.
Well, let me give you my number real quick, and you can call me and give me your address, and I'll drop one off.
Okay. Can you drop it in the chat? I'll try. I'm kind of driving right now, but I'll be able to pick it up.
Okay.
Put it in there, Corporal Miller.
You gonna put it in there? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Does anyone have any more questions? All right. We're going to move down to our Division 5, the Corporal Thomas. Yeah. How you doing? How you doing, man? You have a report?
How you doing, sir?
Doing great, doing great.
Good evening. So y'all put me behind two hard acts to follow. Major Massey, who's a great officer, great person, and then the legend Corporal Miller. But so on the District 5 side, I went back to September 1st. We had 4 stolen vehicles.
Mhm.
One of them was a Kia car. Well, 2 of them was Kia cars. One was a Honda Civic and one was a Ford Expedition. The closest streets that they occurred on was the 8600 block of Temple Hill Road, the 7500 block of Commerce Lane, and 7500 block of Ogden Drive, which is off Kirby Road. If anybody familiar with the District 5 side. Then we had 4 theft from autos reported. They were all, let me see, one of them was in the Camp Springs area, 7200 block of Wessex Drive. That's right off Allentown Road. And we
Mhm.
also had one on the 7500 block of Allentown Road. The other 2 was Kirby Road and Spring Street. We had 1 commercial burglary, and that occurred at the 6400 block of Old Branch Avenue, the Hangar Club. I believe it's another name for it now, but I think everyone knows it as the Hangar Club.
Mhm.
And then, and if anybody live on the Chesterfield Drive side, 5500 block, y'all might have saw a lot of sheriffs in the location, and that was just due to a warrant service, just in case anybody was wondering. But outside of that, like Major said, the holidays coming up, so be very mindful of your deliveries you're receiving to your house, and definitely try not to keep no gifts in the cars, because this is one of the biggest times criminals try to break into your cars, hoping they get a nice Christmas gift.
Okay. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question.
Go Corporal Thomas, yes.
My name is Tony Fox. Is he saying District 5, does that include the Westchester Estates development?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And I dropped my email in the chat.
You want me
My
to?
name-
You want
I
me to?
already did. I believe I already did.
Mm-mm.
It didn't come through?
No, sir.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Miss
Yeah.
Franks.
Yeah, you could drop my information. Maybe my Wi-Fi not good enough.
All right. Does anyone have any more questions for the corporal?
Yes.
Dwayne Shaw. Speed bumps on Lansing and Kinston Court. We've been trying to get some for years. Lansing and Kinston Court.
You said speed bump, sir?
Yes.
Okay, we're just going through right now at the moment, we're going through the police report. I will make a
Tell
note.
them that's a different process.
It's a different process with that
I
because,
heard you. Okay.
yes.
Very good.
Well, this is Brina Galloway because I live on Lansing and I'm at the beginning of Lansing and Mansfield, and those cars do speed through here, and I mean they come flying through here.
Right, we have the same issue here on St. John's Place. We put in for a speed bumps, but we're on the list, so we're just waiting. I went to every neighbor's house on my block, got their signatures, and we all agreed to get speed bumps.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
what I was going to say is because they put the county, they came out here and put the thing in front of my house. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 months ago. And they
Yes.
said it was to see how the vehicles were coming through here.
Yes, ma'am.
So is that how it's determined if we're going to get the speed bumps?
No, ma'am. That's a one part of a bigger picture that needs to be done.
Okay, because there are a whole bunch of little children.
I understand that. We have the same issue here. That's the reason why I went to all my neighbors.
Okay.
And I went and processed all of that information and gave it out to the county so that I can file something that shows that they're going to put the speed bumps in. But we're on hold. You guys do that over there?
I mean, I can.
Yes.
Because my
You know what?
neighbors, we're very close and watching out for each other's homes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna continue with the meeting. What I'm gonna do is get your information. And then
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure that we all go through the same process together. So when they come in and they pave the streets, we both can get our streets done.
Yeah,
Recognize-
my neighbors have been asked.
Yes, ma'am. Let
Okay,
me
please
continue on with the
recognize
meeting.
Mr. Vance. Recognize Mr. Vance. He wants to say something.
Yes, his hand raised, yeah.
Delonte, I think you're muted, but I was gonna speak to that real quick.
Go ahead.
As far as the speed bumps, that is a process, as Mr. Delonte was saying. You have to put in a process with DPW&T, and as Mr. Delonte said, you do have to go door to door on that specific block, and get essentially approval with your other neighbors to get the speed bumps, and then the county will come out and do the assessment to see if it's necessary. So like I said, it is a process. I don't know it fully by heart. I just wanted to jump in real quick and explain that much.
Yes. All right.
Hey, Mr. President, can I get them street names again? That you said people were speeding? The 2 streets that people were speeding on.
Lansing and Kingston.
Okay, Lansing and Kingston and
Mm-hmm.
okay.
And
And what
All up and down all these streets,
Warwick Avenue.
especially
and like I
Brinkley
said, I
Road.
understand the process. I understand the process they're talking about, but the county came out here and laid the things. They laid it on Berkshire, 3 sections of Berkshire. They laid it on 2 sections of Lansing. And I think they also laid the things on Westchester.
You're talking about the little wires
Yeah.
that's on the street. So then that might be them assessing it.
Right. That's excessive. Right.
Right, and that's why I said I wanted to know what the status was. I'll wait my turn on that, gentleman.
Yeah, now I don't think they went all the way down to Kingston. I know they did Lansing, they
Okay.
did several sections of
Yeah.
Westchester, and they did several sections of Berkshire.
Only when you do that, they get you.
Okay. So what we'll do is that's a different conversation of what we're having tonight. We have an agenda tonight, and I'm trying to follow the agenda. But we can table this, and we can get we can get your information out. We'll reach out to you and figure out what's going on, what steps you guys are as far as your and what y'all, because if you still have the wire, you're way at the beginning.
No, they did the wire 3 months ago.
Yes, it took we've been waiting for almost a year.
Really?
The
Yes,
speed
for
bumps.
speed bumps. Yes,
Yeah, and
but,
that's
but
what the gentleman did tell me, that they were doing the assessment. Now,
yes,
where they at, I don't know, but like I said, the majority of my neighbors, we all speak, we all watch out for each other. So none of us even know how they even came to do our street.
that is great. I'm gonna take your information because I definitely need a block captain over there where you are.
Yeah,
So
I'm at the beginning, and as you see, I'm a realtor, so I go around the neighborhoods and door knock.
okay, yeah. So we definitely can use you. I'm gonna keep on moving to the to agenda. Thank you so much for your information. Is Mr. James here?
Didn't
No.
see him. I didn't see Mr. James.
All right, we're gonna move forward into the agenda. All right, so now we're gonna do our financial report, and that's Ms. Diane Randolph.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
In 2023, there were 8,310 households in Camp Springs. And to date, 40 households and 3 businesses have become members for this membership year. This means that there are many more households and businesses that can join us in the good work that this association does, and many more households that can volunteer for our committees to make an impact on our community, connect with community leaders, and share insights on important developments. So please tell your Camp Springs friends and neighbors about joining the CSCA. As a reminder, membership fee for households is $20 each, and for businesses is $30, and any donations are welcome. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
You said it so nicely, Miss Randolph. In other words, the Civic Association, the work we do, we really are low on money, and we have a lot of expenses, you all. We have to have insurance. We run into Zoom and a whole other myriad of things. So if you can, please join. Tell your neighbors about the Civic Association. I mean, because even though we're working on a shoestring, we're getting it done, but we do need financial support in order to keep moving on.
Miss Monique, is there ever a time where maybe there's like signage or is there any type of posting? I know that there's the sign for the actual, organization meetings and stuff, but to kind of boost that up for awareness. Is there any type of signage that could be?
The signage is put out. We post on the website, and a lot of the times, I know this one we didn't do lately, is we go on Nextdoor and we'll post the meetings. And
Yeah.
I know and one of our members keeps telling us that we have to also post on Neighborhood, which is I think that's the Ring. And she said, how do you join? You can go to the website, and that's Camp Springs CA, Camp Springs with an S, CA.org. And the first thing you're going to see is please join. And you can join in that method. Or if you want to, we have a P.O. box that you can send a check to.
I know that I created
saying that because someone asked, how do you join?
Yeah, I created that Nextdoor page for the neighborhood, but I don't have a lot of people on there. Maybe I could just do a post about joining the association on there. I'll try to.
For me, Miss Samara.
Yes.
Thank you, my love.
I had a very busy time, so I'll be getting more active.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get better at making sure that we're posting on these different sites, and we're working on doing other things to boost membership. And we have a wonderful new membership chair
Yes.
who has a lot of ideas.
Right. Exactly. So speaking of membership share, let's move on to Ms. Gorham McGance.
You know, this is makes my job easier tonight because one of the things, and we've been talking about membership, because there are a couple of things that this whole membership issue impacts. That's obviously our financial ability to do the things that we need to do, but also the people and the bodies refuse to get those things done. And Ms. Simmons, I've got your name contact because we've met briefly, and there are a number of people who volunteered, who indicated that they want to be on the membership committee. Just with the board, we've had really great ideas. One of which, just to let you know, that we've talked about, and we think it's probably one of the first activities we're going to do, is have flyers printed out and just kind of blanket in some of the shopping centers where the groceries, but all of this takes money and people. So for those of us who are understand, and all of us seem to are clear about it, understand the importance of strengthening our membership and then growing our numbers, that this is something that we really need to do. We've even talked about barriers to having people pay their dues. I was so happy at the last meeting because I really never asked about when is the renewal time. And I was looking at, I printed out the task of the membership committee, and that's one of them, to remind people of the renewal. And so we're going to do that. Also, in terms of we've been talking about and working with the committee about a newsletter, because information needs to flow. That would help people stay abreast about issues and concerns, also boost our membership. But businesses, we found a couple of businesses in the committee. There's one new member, and she didn't know there was a civic association. When we met her, she's already joined. But that's one of the things that we need to know: who's coming, what businesses are coming into our community, which ones are leaving. So these are things that the new members, well, the membership committee is kind of responsible for, and working with in conjunction with another committee, business engagement committee. What I'd like to ask anybody who's interested in serving, you don't have to be there forever and ever, because what we'd like to have some good ideas and some people to kind of launch this. We've got people who wonderful ideas, like even the website that has, our membership has an impact on the website. We need someone to help develop, and eventually as we grow and we get someone to develop it and to pay for monitoring or whatever, in terms of improving that whole process, but it takes resources and money. So again, and I implore everyone, if you're interested, I don't mind putting my number out there. Give me a call, because I'd like to have a membership committee. We've meeting with people in the community, expand that, because we've got, what you mentioned, about 2,200 residents in Camp Springs, and you mentioned like 8,000 households. We should have, our goal is to have at least, I think 10% or so of.
Did you say 2,200?
22,000. I'm sorry, 20,000.
23,000.
23,000. Okay.
23,000 plus
residents.
Yeah. Miss Monique, remember that idea we were trying to do about having that community day? That probably would be a good thing if we could kind of work towards that and to get the word out about services and associations in our neighborhood. That would be a good way to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And we have a very active
we'll circle around that again.
A chair or committee or chairperson. So, and we all have great ideas, but we want to make sure that we start with the membership. Not necessarily start with membership, but those of you who have ideas, and you don't have to necessarily pledge, because if we've got a number of people, one person can do one or two things, and that helps everybody else on the committee. But the membership committee, we're going to start with making sure that we remind everybody of the renewal. Also identify and share information about all our new memberships. And I just personally encourage everybody, if you bring one or two people on both sides of you, tell them something about the members of the Civic Association. Get one of them to join. We've working out some of the issues. We know either the PayPal or just send the checks in the mail for those of us who prefer to do that. But that's one of the issues that we all, as a member of the Civic Association, need to be mindful of. We have got to reach out, strengthen our membership, build our financial stability, and those are done primarily through members. And again, please, I don't know, Money, can you place my phone number?
I sure can.
Okay, and those of you who are interested in supporting and working on the membership, please let me know, because there are a number of things we could do this during the holiday season. But definitely one of the ideas, I think Angel, one of our board members, shared the flyers. But again, the flyers cost money,
Yes.
and just kind of blanket some of the places in our neighborhood, the businesses, the shopping centers, just letting people know that we're here, that the Civic Association is an entity in the community, because we need to share this information. Things about the crime report, services. There are a number of services in our community that we need to make sure our residents are aware of. But again, this is why it's so critical and important for us to strengthen our membership and be a part of it. Thank you. Any questions?
Did I hear her say we only had 40 members who joined?
Yes,
Was
you
that-
did, Ms. Fox.
Yes.
Really?
Yep,
Yes.
40 households.
Oh, Lord.
Of about 8,000?
Yes.
Yes.
So we our goal, we need to have 10%. That's a minimum.
If every week or every meeting before the meeting we bring somebody in or tell them
Yes.
to join, we
Yes.
can start a campaign or a coalition to bring people in.
Yes.
But it takes all of us, everyone that's online,
Yes.
to go to their neighbors and press them out. Say, hey, you're missing out on valuable information that we're
Yeah.
the service that we're giving. And if you join, then we can have things on our block. We can have things for our community, for the kids. We can do a lot more. But we just need
Yes.
everyone to be involved and understand that there's a group out here that cares about our community.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And one of the things that we plan every month we're meeting, just kind of highlight and obviously highlight the business, but also kind of let everybody know who our new members are and celebrate them. New members
Yeah.
are important, or how many new members, but we need to do that. We're going to send emails, welcome letters and packets to our new members, but we just need to have them celebrated because they're important.
I believe in that. And I believe next time when we have our meeting, all new members should be shout out during our meetings.
Yes,
Go ahead.
especially if it's a physical, I just think, have them stand up and invite them and have them, like they do at church, just make sure
Right.
we celebrate them.
Yes. Go ahead, Miss Taylor.
Okay, Ms. Kelly's made a recommendation that everyone on this call email or place a flyer in all your neighbors' mailbox for the next meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly.
Thank you, Miss Kelly. I really appreciate that. If anyone has any other questions?
So there is an existing next door page for the Camp Springs Civic Association. There's already one that exists already.
No, I just usually do it
Yeah, I'm not
personally.
sure.
Someone did tell me today that we need to
Yeah, I'm just thinking
actual
maybe I
page.
could say I can just put the post, maybe I can help with that. I know I created one for Woodbury, but I haven't put anything up there. But
Okay.
maybe I have one, and then that's a way to reach out, because a lot of people do use the Nextdoor app.
Okay. What can happen if you can create one for us, then what we can do is send you the flyers when our meetings are coming. You can post it on there. That'll help out.
And if you all have any information, I'm happy to put it on my flyers, because I put flyers all through Temple Hills Camp Springs, Fort Washington, Clinton, and this would be no extra cost to the association because it's already built into my business costs. So I do flyers. A matter of fact, I have a door knocker that I'm just doing now, getting ready to print out to go pass out about Halloween, and a trunk or treat we're having at my brokerage.
Really? Okay, Ms. McGann.
Okay, yeah, I've got a Miss Galloway.
I do a ton of marketing. So, I mean, I know paper costs, but I mean, it's nothing for me because it's already built into my marketing. And I do all my own marketing material. I do all my own newsletter information that I pass out in my own community.
Oh, well, we certainly will be contacting you because this is what we really mean. This is why the numbers and people are sharing what they can do. This is important. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Ms. Galloway, thank you. That's exactly the type of support that we need from.
Well, I've been in this community for 10 years. And when I first moved here 10 years ago, I had received something about the association and I came and joined. And then a year later, I heard nothing else about it. And then a couple of years ago, I went door knocking. About 2 years ago, I went door knocking, passing out flyers. And the flyers were down at the end of Lansing Drive, but nothing up this end of Lansing Drive. And in case you all don't know, Lansing Drive is 1.3 miles long.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've been here
Ms.
for 40.
Galloway, the
I've been-
reason why we tried, we said financial. That was
Right.
that was a financial decision because we're trying to spread it throughout. Like we said, it's 8,300 households and we don't have that kind of funds. So that's
Well,
why it didn't come all the way to the end.
Like I said, I'm happy to help. And here in this community, it's 997 homes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I've been here 40 years, and initially we used to get a newsletter, and that's how we would stay in touch, and we would get, time for your membership to renew, And, I've had this conversation with my girl there. But like she told me, I'm wondering if people don't know it exists anymore.
They don't know. I can tell you when I go door knocking.
Okay, because I live at 5200 Lansing Drive. Where do you live?
I'm at 5623. As soon as you turn on Lansing from at Mansfield, my house is on the left.
Oh, okay. I'm always at the bottom.
And most of my neighbors have been here for 30 years. They don't know that you all exist.
No, they used to have, I've been here 40 years and they would flood them. We would get newsletters almost every other month.
Like I said, I got it when I first moved here.
I mean, if you think about it, when I first got here as a vice president, one of the things I noticed that there weren't any more block captains. We had people to deliver things or flyers to the people that's in the community because it's hard for me and the vice president to walk around and pass out all these flyers. We put in our dues for walking around.
Like I said, I'm happy. I take my grandchildren out with me. My grandchildren out, and we door knock this not the entire, because a couple of weeks ago, I did all of Berkshire, all of Chesterfield, all of Westchester, all of Lansing, all of Wessex.
Ms. Galloway, let me say this. Okay. We're going to get ready we're having the November 13th. Y'all mark your calendar. November 13th, the next meeting is going to be in person. We're going to have the county executive. We will give you flyers because we paying out our pocket to get these flyers. We're going to get 1,000 printed and we're going to give you some. And so you can do that walk and whoever else wants some.
Yeah, because I be needing exercise, so it's nothing for me.
Okay. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give everybody some flyers to pass out to make sure we pack out the house for the county executive.
I have 2 neighbors, they don't mind walking with me either.
All right, put your information in the chat so somebody can record it, so we can reach out to you and drop off some flyers to you because we definitely need that.
Don't we have Ms. Galloway information?
already emailed you all to an email that we had going back in February of 2024.
No, and then I
Where
ain't
I've
heard from you
said
no
this,
more, Miss
I've said
Moore.
this twice before.
No, you
It's
came
just
and met us
that generally
outside.
when you all have this meeting, like there's another meeting I'm supposed to be in, but
got
I
your
try to
B.
sometimes make it to this because I need to know what's going on.
Okay, I got B Galloway at KW.com.
You got B Galloway at KW.com and B Galloway 407 at
Let me see.
Gmail.
Wait a minute, B Galloway. Wait a minute, B Galloway.
Yeah. And I just sent
I
you and
do. I got
Delonte
B
the
Galloway
email with my phone number
407.
in it.
I got both of them.
Okay.
All right.
And I know April is on the call, and I also, I mean, I see April shared the fact that what we're listening to you, and that's one of the reasons why the committees are so important, or people who just want to come in and share some suggestions. What you've given us is a couple of suggestions, and that's several other people may be willing to do, you know, one weekend saying I can pass these flyers out with so thank you. And
I mean, and I can even help you all get like email addresses because I have my own resources to pull neighborhood email addresses.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
we definitely need
I
that.
certainly will be reaching out to you and to make sure that those things that, because that's part of what membership and then community engagement, just to make sure that we've got contacts people and then we get the word out. And thank you. That's something, your name is along with Miss Simmons' name or my stars.
All right. I appreciate that. See, that's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the community coming together, working together to try to improve our community relations. So let's move on. I'll have the Prince George's County School Board Representative is Miss Zakia. Is Zakia here? Miss McGant?
I am here, but I am still in transit.
Oh, you still in transit? Okay.
Yes.
Well, welcome.
Left from the board meeting.
All right. So, I mean, I don't know if you had anything to say. Since you can you talk a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for having me tonight. Again, as I said, I do apologize for my tardiness and not being on camera. I am in transit from our board work session and all of the things that we had to get done this evening. But I did want to make sure that I took the opportunity to flag for the community two major initiatives that we are working on. We are starting our budget process for next school year, and we have our community budget priorities survey. I'm going to drop that in the chat shortly. But with our community budget priorities survey, we really want to make sure that we are taking into the account not just what I think as your board member is important, but what the community is saying. Last year, the survey got, I want to say it was less than 200 responses. So very much not representative of the community and how people are thinking, especially as we go into this next budget season, knowing that our state is going to be facing a deficit. We are expecting a deficit from our county. And so we definitely want to make sure that we are involving the community in how this money should be spent. Actually, the work session that we had today, Board of Education had today, was about the blueprint, which, if anybody is familiar, massive, like landmark across the country, the state of Maryland passed that law, and it is literally rethinking the way that we do school financing. However, that makes things a little bit more difficult on the individual school and school district level. So we want to make sure that we are collecting budget priorities from the community. And the blueprint is explained a little bit more in that survey. The other thing that I wanted to highlight, because it has come up a lot, is the specialty schools enrollment, the lottery system that people hear about. That starts in November. However, and I believe it's November 8th is when it actually opens up. However, there are a lot of different nuances for being able to apply to that. People don't know about schools, all of those types of things. So now is the time, if you have a question about different schools, about different programs that are offered. Sometimes you don't have to apply to a specialty school. Our schools right here in right here in Camp Springs have some amazing programs. I'm sure everybody has passed by Crossland at least once. Crossland is now our career and technical education hub for the entire county, and they are doing amazing things. So those were the two major things that I wanted to highlight for everybody. Specialty schools lottery opening up, and please, please, please fill out the budget survey. And then last but certainly not least, if you have any questions, concerns, there's a lot of information coming out at a pretty rapid pace right now about education and laws, especially with test scores just coming out. So please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. There will be some updates, and I will make sure I share that with our president about how we are engaging the community further in the budget, not just this survey, but further engagement, as well as how we are supporting people in understanding how our schools actually work. Our school ratings have gotten a lot of questions, both in my email and just in the community, about why our schools are rated the way they are and the difference between what you're seeing on websites like greatschools.org and a lot of the real estate websites versus what we actually know to be true in our buildings. And so would love to have conversations about not just that, but anything if people have questions about education here, especially since this is my home civic association. So whereas most times people are like, you can knock on my door. Those of you on this call can actually knock on my door if I'm home and ask those questions. And I'll drop my information in the chat as well for how to contact me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions for our school board representative? No, I don't see any hands up. All right. Thank you, Zakir. I really appreciate it. You be safe on that road. All right. So we're going to move on to our community relations, Vince. From community relations, are you still there? All right. You need the I think you have you can put up your slides, right? All right. He has a presentation he's going to give to us.
Can everyone hear me? Just a quick thumbs
Yes.
up to those who have their cameras on. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Vince Patrice Lorden. I come to you from the Prince George's County Office of Community Relations. As you see pictured, we're with Bugs Bunny in front of our 311 on-the-go mobile unit. I just had some OCR updates. OCR is short for Office of Community Relations. So I'll go right into my spiel and who we are as an agency. So who is OCR? The Office of Community Relations, short OCR for short, is the Prince George's County government's bridge to its constituents. Utilizing an outreach approach, we connect with residents in order to assist them in addressing community concerns and overall connecting residents with community resources. So just to ask, does anyone have any questions for this particular slide? Alrighty, going on to the next one. I wanted to share some upcoming events per Ms. Taylor and I's conversation. I want to share that we have coming up the 6th annual Purple Bike Ride Social. It is hosted by our county executive, Aisha Braveboy. It'll be held this Saturday from 7:30 is when registration starts, to 12 o'clock p.m. You can bring children, you can bring yourself. There will be vendors, food trucks, a DJ, and it'll be loads of fun. As Mr. Delonte mentioned earlier, the county executive is hosting her Department of Environment Green Festival. The the Office of Community Relations will join the Prince George's County Department of Environment for their Green Festival. This event takes place on Saturday as well in Hyattsville, Maryland. And then coming up, as we all know, this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Shout out to all of these survivors in this community association meeting, as well as all over the world. We have 2 events coming up that our office is hosting. We're hosting a Body Butter Babe event where we are essentially creating body butters with survivors. We will also be having a Forever Fit in Pink with survivors as well. The link to all of that will be sent in the chat. But also there is a QR code on this flyer that I will send momentarily. I also wanted to get into the recent work we've done with Camp Springs before the summer session ended. I mean, the spring session ended. So before that, going from the most recent to the thing that was most in the past, we had the Camp Springs Civic Association DPI Community Walk. That walk where we started at the 2nd Avenue thrift store to address concerns going on starting there. And then I also did a site visit in the Westchester area to address community concerns and create a service request on PGC 311. And I will be discussing that with Ms. Taylor and Mr. Delante soon. And then we also had the Auth Village Park revamp community meeting. So our previous director, Unisha Davis, joined Ms. Monique Taylor, and I believe Mr. Delante was there as well, with Councilmember Hawkins and community leaders to discuss the upcoming revamp of Auth Village Park. That is in the works, I believe. I will find out some updates coming up for you guys. Does anyone have any questions for this slide or the two previous slides?
I just have one question. The Purple
Yes,
Ride,
sir.
where's the location? The Purple Ride,
Let's see.
I tried to zoom and I couldn't really see.
I apologize. You're good. So from what I can see here, it's at Bowie City Hall.
Okay, okay.
Like I said, I'll send the flyer, all of these flyers in the chat as well,
Okay.
just so you don't have to go back into this slideshow.
Okay.
And then for my last two slides, I just have my information here. I know in the past I've just dropped it in the group chat, which I will this time, but since we're all on our devices, we can save it, take a screenshot, whatever you need to do to save this information. I am always here for you all. I'm here to hear all of your community concerns. I know that Mr. Delante and Ms. Taylor, we all give each other an earful. So I'm open to you all as well. And just for community resources, county resources, of course, please call PGC 311 for your non-emergency government concerns. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We do have bilingual callers. I know there are some Latino speakers in the Camp Springs community. We also have the PGC311.com website. And then we also have a tutorial for how to download and utilize PGC 311. And I'll keep this up for a little bit, just in case anyone needs it. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Let's see.
Thank you all so much. Like I said, I'll drop everything in the chat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for a nice presentation. All right, if no one has any more questions, we're going to move on to our next person. The University of Maryland, Capital Region Health Medical Group, Kathy Ferguson, Community Outreach Coordinator. She's up next and she will give us a presentation. Welcome. Welcome, Ms. Ferguson.
Hello,
Hi.
everyone. I feel like I'm at home because I used to live on Lansing Drive with my aunt and uncle. So I was like channeling all this, and I have to give a huge shout out. I want to thank April for connecting me with the group, and then of course Ms. Taylor for providing the information to join. But one of my heroes, and you all have a superstar in your midst, and that's Mr. Moye. Mr. Moye, I don't know if he's a block captain. He should be the mayor of Lansing Drive. So I'm letting you know that, Ms. Galloway. He's just a huge champion. I love you. And I'm just so glad to see you. He didn't even know I was back in Maryland. So surprise, surprise. Anyway, so let me see if I can get here and get this sharing, y'all. Let's see. Can you all see this?
Yes, it's loading up.
You said it's loading?
Yes.
Okay. So let me know when you see everything on your end.
We see it. I know I see it. Yes, we see it.
Okay. Well, again, my name is Kathy Ferguson, and I'm the Community Outreach and Engagement Coordinator for the University of Maryland Capital Region Medical Center's Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Program. You may be familiar with us when we were located at the old school PG County Hospital that was in Cheverly. So we've been around for quite some time. We've actually been here for over 50 years servicing individuals who've been impacted by domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. I think we're about one of the longest serving providers of such in the county. So we do have that as one of our accolades. Here you'll see that we celebrated our 50th about a couple of years ago. And again, these are the areas that we work in and around, but I do want to just call attention to the fact that even though this is also to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and again, we want to support survivors as they're going through their treatments and so forth, it is also to Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And why that's so critically important for Prince George's County in particular is that currently Prince George's County is leading in the rates of domestic violence homicides. And so we want to make sure that we're informing communities about what it looks like, how to spot it, how to refer people for help, and just make sure that we can reduce these incidences. As you heard earlier, with regard to the police reports, certainly there are a lot of simple assaults, and a lot of those happen to be domestic violence related. And so one of our jobs is to, again, go out to the community to try and educate the community and how to reduce those incidences, but also to encourage people to go for help if they have in fact been impacted by these issues, or a friend, a loved one, neighbor, so forth and so on. In terms of our service array, you'll see here, and I'm not going to belabor too much of this. You're welcome to ask questions, and we can always come back. But these are the main areas that we provide in terms of services. We have our medical support, and you'll see here that includes medical accompaniment, forensic exams, and strangulation exams, which we'll talk about a little bit here later. Our victim advocacy piece, and this is just our general advocacy for individuals that may call in or come into our hospital. But we do have a hotline response. We have crisis intervention, and we also offer case management for individuals. This victim advocacy piece is strongly linked with our criminal justice advocacy piece. And in this case, we're working with law enforcement in terms of trying to make sure individuals are aware of their rights. They're able to get protective orders that you'll see here. We have a center here at the hospital wherein if people are hospitalized as a result of their injuries or are unable to get have time to get to the courthouse, we can actually do virtual protective orders from the confines of our center. So that saves them an additional stop once they do leave here. And we also do court accompaniment, as you see here. We will go with individuals to court for protective order hearings. We will go with them for bond hearings, bail hearings, and then if there are criminal charges that are pursued in any of those issues that I mentioned earlier, we have the capacity to accompany them. Currently, I think we have about 14 FNE nurses, and then we also have 16 advocates. We are a 365-day operation. We are open 24/7. So there's never a time that a person can call our services or our hotline and not be able to speak with somebody. And we don't have voicemail, so you will always get a live person. So that's, again, whether you call during normal hours or at 2 o'clock in the morning. Here we have our housing advocacy piece. We know that housing is a huge issue just in general, but we are able to offer shelter referrals. We have a rental assistance program. It's filled right now, but with this program, if individuals need to relocate from their homes, we have a program that will pay their first month's rent and security deposit. So that's a really great service that we can provide. And then on those very rare and I don't want to say special occasions, but where there's some circumstances that necessitate it, we will offer emergency hotel room stays. So we have that aspect. And then our mental health here, crisis counseling, individual therapy, and group therapy. Here you'll see some of the activities, and this is pretty much where I come into play. I work significantly around developing community partnerships. So again, thank you all for having me, conducting outreach and training. And in terms of this, I'm doing community awareness events. I'm training our hospital staff, but I also train professional stakeholders in the field. So I work with law enforcement, schools, private groups, dental offices to really help them connect people to services. Here we have committees that we sit on. One of our huge committees that we participate on is the domestic violence fatality review. So we will look at cases to see like what happened. Did this person, what kind of services did they trying to access? Where was there a lapse in communication and things of that nature? So we will do that. And just for your information, if anybody's interested, we are redeveloping and revamping our volunteer corps. Right now we have 4 volunteers, but we're trying to get that number up to 10. So if anybody's interested in volunteering with us, we have a variety of ways that you can connect with us to help volunteer. Please, I'll put my information in the chat and you can contact me about that. And then we also, of course, have our donation drives, and we're in the process of developing our own F&E training for nurses who want to do forensic exams. So I do want to spend just a little bit of time talking about domestic violence because, again, this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I already indicated what our rates of fatalities are. So if you did not know, domestic violence is also known as intimate partner violence, and it occurs when a partner or ex-partner attempts to physically and or psychologically dominate another person. So this is really about a person trying to gain control of a person's behavior, and they will do things to get that desired result. When we talk about domestic violence, it usually refers to violence that's between spouses, but it also includes cohabitants, non-married intimate partners, and separated parents that have a child in common. We know that it can happen with any other household members, but our hospital, even though we can give referrals, we don't count folks that come into our service who don't have that intimate partner connection. So there has to be this sort of definition for us to really give them the case management that they may need. Domestic violence, of course, can happen in all types of relationships, and no one is immune. Heterosexual, homosexual couples. It certainly happens amongst teenagers. And when we talk about that, we're talking about dating violence, but it has the same power and control dynamics that domestic violence has. There's not any difference with that. So when we talk about power and control, you see here is a wheel. Some of you all may have seen this in other areas of your work. Sometimes there's workplace violence trainings that they may use this particular image. But here you'll see that the center of it all is power and control. And again, this is about trying to get that intended desire. And so you're going to do whatever you can to exert your power and control somebody. And the violence will often be physical and sexual, but it can also too be financial, it can be spiritual, it can be emotional. So there are all sorts of different types of ways that a person can be violent without putting their hands on someone. And so here you'll see some of the tactics that individuals will use. So there's this intimidation, there's that threat here, coercion, again, trying to get that desired result, the emotional abuse. This is one of the biggest things, and this is typically how it starts, calling somebody out of their name. There's always an issue. You're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too tall, you're too short. No one will ever want you. You're ugly. It's those type of things that, again, is designed to diminish a person, to shrink them, to make them feel less about themselves, to devalue them, make them feel worthless. And the more you're able to do that, then the more they'll try to do whatever they can to please you. And I do know that this does happen to men, but overwhelmingly, the majority of individuals that are impacted by this are women, over 90%, and 90% of the perpetrators are men. And that's not to say that all men do this, because we know that the majority of men are good men. However, that little 5 to 10% of guys that do this are repeat offenders. They will look for their marks. They will look to prey upon people, and they look for those vulnerabilities that are out there. And so they will do this serially. And they're the ones that give the rest of the guys a bad name. So we do want to make sure that we get men involved in this, because men can make a difference in other men's behavior. This is not a woman's issue. It's really a men's behavior issue. And it's a power-based violence issue. So again, this emotional abuse is significant. Isolation. Just talking to somebody today, about a person that did not want them to go out with their friends, did not told them that they couldn't have a friend that was of the opposite sex, those type of things. You can't see your family. There's always an issue. This denying, minimizing, and blaming, this happens a lot where you made me do this. If you hadn't have said this, I wouldn't have done that. There's always an excuse for the behavior. I'm sorry, I was drinking, or I had a rough day at work, that type of thing. Using the children, threats to take them away, male privilege. This is sort of the roles. Women do this, and men do that. And if you violate those roles, then that's an issue. So there's all these type of things. And this is a growing one, this economic abuse, particularly now because we are in a very credit heavy and driven world. So there are people that will purposely ruin your credit just because. I've known that there were some cases where a person drove their partner's car into a tree just because it would put them in a financial deficit. So there's all these type of issues with regard to finances. It could be putting somebody on an allowance, just checking where they're spending their money, not allowing them access to a bank account and things of that nature. And again, if you all have any questions, I'm happy to stop. So again, we can always tell when somebody has been physically abused because you're going to see marks, you're going to see black eyes, or maybe you won't. You'll see people wearing glasses, sunglasses, maybe when they maybe shouldn't. But you'll see cuts, wounds, and that type of thing. You might see some broken bones, arm in a cast, and things of that nature. But it's that emotional abuse that is really difficult to recover from because once you've felt like you are nothing and you start to believe that hype, that takes a toll on your life just in general, and it impacts you in significant ways. It's never okay, and it doesn't matter what form it's in. And so that's the thing that we want to try and make sure we're expressing to you all today. So again, if you all have neighbors, you hear people fighting, certainly call the police. But I can actually get some resources to you all. But you have these like little cards, and you can just throw something in somebody's mailbox just so that they know that there's some help that's out there. And I do want to stress that we never tell people what to do at all. We are a patient-driven center or victim-centered. And so whatever that person wants to have happen is what we're going to do. So if they want to stay in that relationship, we're going to try and help them stay in that relationship in a safe way. We'll try and connect the perpetrator with some type of help. But we're going to try and build the person up so that they can make some positive changes. But how to stay in their house safely if there's a fight, how to use code words, or maybe call a neighbor with that code word. It might be canary. And they might call and say, Mr. Moyer, and say, hey, it's something canary. And Mr. Moyer then knows that there's an issue. So then he can call the police to come over. So we try and give people strategies to actually keep themselves safe. But certainly there are situations where the desired thing is for them to be apart for the person. But again, we don't make that happen. We don't tell people that's what they have to do. We don't tell them they have to call law enforcement. We don't tell them that they have to do anything. We give them resources, literature, information. We offer our counseling. We offer the counseling of our partners that are out there in the field who are not hospital-based, so that they can perhaps come to some type of conclusion about, the care that they want. How it happens, I talked to you before about that emotional abuse, and that's, typically going to happen in this tension building phase. But typically, when these relationships happen, they happen very fast. They're very quick romances. There are a lot of love bombs. There's a lot of moving in quite early. So if you all have children or grandchildren that are dating age or young adults, if they're meeting somebody and moving in within like 3 to 5 months, that's a no-no because you really don't know that person. You know the representative that they're showing you. And so we find that a lot of these type of relationships are very hot and heavy early on, and they move quickly. And before you know it, it's too late to sort of get out without feeling shame and stigma. So you've got this honeymoon phase where it's like me and you, baby, it's us against the world and everything is great. Then comes that coercion that I don't want you to be with your friends. I want you to do this, those little things, those tactics that I talked about on that wheel, that tension building, and you know something's going to happen, or you're not really sure, you're walking on eggshells, and you're just not certain, like, you know, why is this person coming at me this way? Why is this such an issue all of a sudden? And maybe you're starting to argue back and forth. And then then there's that serious battering phase where somebody actually puts their hands on the other person. So you have that. So I did want to kind of go through that really quickly. And unfortunately, it will result in injury. And this is a young woman. She was actually over in Europe, and this is the consequence of a domestic violence battering situation that she was in. And here's another woman that was in Mississippi who experienced domestic violence. So sometimes we don't often see these images. These are people that will come into the hospital for treatment. You know, they may stay out of sight for quite some time in your neighborhood or from your church or what have you. You know, but we just want to make sure that you understand, like, this is serious. It's not, you know, it can be like what you see on TV, but these are real people's lives. And we know that these are learned behaviors. So children that see this in the home, I don't want to say they're doomed to repeat it, but they're very likely to be in these situations because it's a very normalized type of thing for them. This is what they think love is. This is what they think a healthy relationship is. They don't know anything different because they're young. And this is one of the reasons why we do try and get into the schools to sort of educate children about these things, because we want them to grow up whole and healthy. And we really want to break the cycle of domestic violence. And unfortunately, as I indicated, this can result in life-threatening injuries and even death. And this is the mother of a woman that was in a relationship with somebody, and he shot the woman in her face. She did not die, but he killed her mother. He shot her and killed her. And so these things happen because it's not always just the intended victim. Sometimes the perpetrator is determined to cause you pain, humiliation, or anguish in any way. So they may come after you, they may come after a family member, they may come after a friend, or even your children. And so we see that often happening. Strangulation is one of the things that we're seeing a lot in terms of our domestic violence homicides here in the county. When people have been strangled, for us, it's a very high risk. We know that a person that does this or has experienced this has a 750% higher likelihood of being killed at the hands of that perpetrator. There's a lot of reasons for this. It's also ironic, or maybe not ironic, or coincidental, I'm not sure. But individuals that will strangle a person also tend to be individuals that will shoot police officers intentionally. So we know that this is a very significant issue. You'll see here some of the presenting signs, you know, of somebody that's happened to. But I do want to say, out in the community, in the streets, we will often say that somebody got choked out or they were choked. It's not choking. Choking is when you're eating food and something gets caught in your esophagus and you can't breathe and you're trying to get it out. This is strangulation. This is hands around neck, wires around neck, cords around necks, things of that nature, arms around necks. We saw that with Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. And it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure for somebody to actually be strangled to death. Pretty much the amount of force that it takes for you to open a Coca-Cola can, you know, is really all the amount of pressure it takes. Holding it there for, you know, any given time, depending on the person, can cause them to, you know, succumb to that issue of not having air or oxygen to their brain. But also, too, what we do know is that individuals who are strangled and who don't seek support or at least come into the hospital, it could be 2 weeks, it could even be a month later that they actually end up having a stroke. And that's because releasing plaque in the arteries going to the brain can be loosened. And it just takes a while for it to actually dislodge and go into the brain. So we want to make sure that anybody that has been strangled, if anybody ever tells you they've been strangled, If you know of somebody that's happened to, if it's happened to you, please make sure you come to the hospital and get a CTA exam. And we have special cameras that will look under the skin because we can't see fingerprints from the outside, but we can see handprints underneath the skin. And the more melanin you have, the less you're able to see the outward damage. So you may have had this happen, but you don't see any visible bruising immediately because it takes a while for it to come up. But we want to make sure that you know and that you tell individuals out there to please seek help. And just real quickly before we go, talk about barriers to reporting. There are a variety of reasons why people don't report or seek help. There's a lack of understanding about the issue. They don't know what domestic violence is. Again, they think it's normal. They think that they might not be believed or taken seriously because of a variety of reasons. There's that shame and taboo. It's very hard for people to say, like, I'm in this situation. They feel like I'm so stupid. I should have left a long time ago. And they feel like they'll be judged. So they don't necessarily want to go and get help or maybe talk to you. Again, that normalization. There's fear of compromised social status. There are people that have been in the highest rungs of federal government. There have been people that have big time, quote unquote jobs, who don't feel like they want to report these type of things. You feel like you want to protect your family, especially if your family has been threatened. There's loyalty to cultural group. That's something that happens, especially with foreign-born individuals. Adherence and reliance on religion and spirituality. And this is starting to change a lot because a lot of church ministries in the areas now do talk about domestic violence, and pastors and other people, elders in the church have been given training so they can actually talk about this issue. But often there is, I'm going to pray my way out of it. I'm just going to trust on the Lord, and He's going to get me out. So that type of thing, mistrust of government, the level of acculturation somebody may have, fear of being deported, internalized racism, feeling that that's just how our culture is. If you're Black or if you're Latino or even white, like that's just part and parcel. And then, of course, no access to info or resources. But there are really big reasons why people stay are these two factors, fear and love. Love, it's people are always in any relationship are going to default to the good times. If you talk to somebody about their relationship, they're going to talk about, oh, we took this vacation, we did this, our honeymoon was that, our wedding was this, all these great, beautiful things. But, they will always downplay. It's just natural to talk about the bad things. Like we had a huge fight over the trash or this, that, or a third. So love is a huge thing. And fear. And what we know is that for individuals that are in a relationship like this, you sort of know, especially if you've been in this cycle of violence where you've gone through this tension phase, you've gone through the fighting phase, and then they come and make up back to this honeymoon. So they give you flowers. I'm sorry. I'm going to get you tickets. We're going to go see Jill Scott, whatever the case is. Whatever is done, whatever's happened to make you all kind of gel again is great. So that pattern, you sort of know, you feel like you know what that person's limitations are, that they're not going to actually, do anything to kill you. Perhaps but you're thinking that you're telling yourself this, but for sure if the person leaves that they will kill you, that they've said it. And so it's like, you want to stay in that situation because you really do fear that they're going to act on what they said or that you think will happen if they have not verbalized it. So I do want to just say that. Why it's critically important that there are places like ours is that we know that for individuals who've experienced domestic violence, human trafficking, or sexual assault, they're still going to seek some type of service. So they want to be well, or even their trafficker is going to want them to be well. So they're going to need to get their bones, fused together. They're going to need those CTA exams. They may have internal bleeding. They may have broken jaws, gunshot wounds, stabbings, whatever those type of things, and they have to be treated. And so we are actually able to screen people in those cases. And if any of you all are Generation X or above like me, you know that there was a transition in time, probably in the mid 2000s, when you started going to your primary care doctor, or really any kind of health clinic or physician, and you got that question like, do you feel safe at home? And they ask these type of questions. Again, because domestic violence is such an issue, and we know everybody goes to the doctor for something. So it's a good way to sort of, access an access point for folks to get connected to help. And just really quickly, how you can maybe help an individual. You want to just support them. You don't want to be judgmental. You don't want to say, I told you to go away from that person a long time ago. You don't want to do anything that further isolates them. So you want to just let them know that you're here to talk, that you're willing to keep their information private. You don't want it to be on the neighborhood app. You don't want, folks to, be talking about it. You're going to want to educate them. So if you have resources, whatever you've learned here today, you might be able to tell them about it. You may have brochures. You can direct them to care. Ask if there's something that they like to talk to you about. And just, again, reaffirm that you want to keep them safe, to be respectful, and of course to respond appropriately. And these are some of the things that you could say, like, none of this is your fault. You did nothing, and nothing you could do would make you deserve this. Something as simple as that. Would you like me to look into resources for you? Or I can take you to a crisis center. I can call the crisis center and see what it would be like, and sort of give them some information. So there's that. I could talk about this all day, but I'm going to I'm going to end it here. Happy to come back for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is April, and Human Trafficking Month, which is in January. But here are some resources. If you all want to take a screenshot of this, and just so you'll have it, I can put some of this in the chat as well. But this is helpful information. This is our number here. And again, we are a 365-day operation, no holidays here, 24/7. We're here to help individuals, and whatever we can do, if you need us to come out and, again, provide you with materials, resources. If you want something a little bit more comprehensive, happy to educate anybody, and teen groups, family groups. We just want to make sure that people know that we want them to stay safe, and that there's a place that they can go to report safely. And that's about it. Thank you
Thank
for
you
your
so
time.
much. Yes, thank you so much. This information was so eye-opening. Do we have any questions?
Just a comment. That was an excellent presentation. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you, April. Well, I'm going to stop the share here. And again, feel free to call. And like I said, we're here to help. And thanks for having me. And go Camp Springs Civic Association.
Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all rock.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I go, I want to run down what the events that's happening this Saturday, and I want to make sure that everyone understands that if you can come out, I want you to come out. But before I go into that, does anybody else any other things they want to bring up? Since we have a little time.
Delonte, if you don't mind.
Yes.
As I said before, I am a local realtor, and I do live here in the Westchester community. I just want to let everyone know, in case you all don't know, Maryland is the #3 state in the nation facing foreclosure, and Prince George's County is the #1 county in Maryland facing foreclosure. Here in District 8, we are the #1 area, followed by Bowie, facing foreclosure.
Yes.
There are resources, there is help. I am actually a certified short sales and foreclosure and probate expert. That's my niche. That's what I mainly deal with. And anyone that you know that may be facing it, I'm definitely happy to help provide information, because there is resources before you have to consider the sale. And a lot of people don't know that there are resources. And there are even additional resources depending on the type of mortgage loan you have. If you have FHA or conventional, there are additional resources that can help you with loans that are interest-free, that can be put on the back end, and they'll pay up what you owe. as long as you can handle the mortgage going forward. There are resources in the county. As you know, the federal government, they are laying folks off. I am also a former federal government contractor in program management in the litigation field. And I got cut in his first term as president. So this has been in the works, what's going on now for a long time. And currently in Prince George's County, there are over, I want to say it's 2,200. As I pulled the numbers at the beginning of the week. So I look at these numbers every week of homeowners facing foreclosure. So again, my name is Brina Galloway. I am here in the area. You can Google my name, see my Google business profile. My website is my name, Brina M. Galloway. And anyone who needs to know what their options are, hey, I'm here to help and provide you with the information. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Ms. Ferguson.
Ms. Ferguson, yes. Can Miss Linda here? Because somebody got a hand up. Go ahead, Miss Ferguson. Go right ahead.
Oh, I did want to just say, I forgot to mention that on November the 14th, which is a Friday from 10 to 1, we're going to be having a men's wellness event here at the hospital. We'll have a short program that will talk about like toxic masculinity, talk about how boys are acculturated and boys to men, mental health issues that they may be dealing with, childhood trauma and things of that nature. So we will have that. Then we'll also have additional screenings like prostate screening, high blood pressure checks, A1Cs, cholesterol, and so forth. So if anybody's interested, it's open to anybody, but it is designed for men. But that's on November the 14th here at the hospital, and that will be from 10 to 1.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Taylor.
If you can you send me the flyer?
Yes, we don't have it ready yet, but as soon as I get it, I'll send it to you. Thank you.
Okay, that'll be great for the community. All right, it's Miss Linda. Can Miss Linda, she said she was gonna volunteer. Can you send your email in the chat?
Yes, I will. I'll send it.
I we really appreciate that.
No
And
problem.
also, yes, ma'am. And also, if we have any members that people that want to join, please join our website. It's campsprings.ca.org. Somebody's calling me. Sorry, part about that. I'm all over the place.
So
And
no.
go ahead, CA. Go ahead, Miss.
Did you do it? Not join us. Join us don't need to be on there, Miss April. It's just the campspringsca.org. And then you scroll down and it says become a member. And you click on that, become a member. Everything else but because it's been simplified. So you just on the first page, when you go to the website, scroll down, become a member. And then it'll take you to where you need to go to become a member.
This is Beverly. Is also
Okay, Miss Linda. I didn't know it was you. Okay.
just a question. They
Okay.
also have on there that if you want to renew also, right?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
just say become a member because you're renewing either way. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I just want to run down just the last little bit of things that we talked about earlier. The Crossing High School Homecoming Parade. If you guys, anyone's free, I mean, if you're free and you have the time, please join me in the parade so we can show the community that we are a community that's participating in things, that we are a group organization. I'll be wearing my shirt. I'm not sure if you guys have any shirts. If you do, you can reach out to April Price. I think she has shirts to sell, so we can all look unified together when we walk through the parade. And also the Faith in Blue, and that's at 11 o'clock, 11 to 3 in Allentown Road, by Patches Corner by the Giant. So I just wanted to mention that. So if you guys can, please join me. I don't want to be the only one. It's Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I don't want to be the only one out there. I'm gonna be out there regardless. I'm gonna still represent you guys, regardless where I go. I'm always trying to represent Camp Springs to the best of his ability, with respect. So if you can join me, that'd be great. If you can volunteer, pass out flyers, that is awesome. Whatever you can give, that is great. We're so thankful. Go ahead, Ms. Till.
If you want them to join you,
Yes,
they gotta meet at the school at what time?
8 o'clock.
To be at Thurgood
Thurgood
Marshall Middle School on Brinkley Road at 8 a.m. to participate in the Crossland High School
Great.
parade.
Yes.
And when you finish going around the corner, just go across the street,
To the
Baptist
Faith and
Corner,
Blue.
to the Faith and Blue.
It's
That's
all
all you have to do.
it's all one big parade party. It's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be a busy day, but a great day.
LB, who's LB?
I don't know.
Membership is September 1 through August 31st.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else. Anyone has Ms. Taylor, I'm gonna reach out to you about the banner. We still have the banner for the parade?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'll reach out. I'll reach out and get that from you. All right. I want to thank everyone. And a reminder, our next meeting is November the 13th. We're going to be in-house. So look out for the emails to give you the information that where we're going to be at. Because this is going to be with our county exec, and we want everyone to be there. That's why we're trying to get everyone to be involved and pass out these flyers. We want the whole community there, so they answer any questions that they need, and so we can hold these politicians accountable, and also we can have a good relationship with them. All right. With all minds clear, I want to we can end this meeting here at 8:42. I want to thank everyone for coming out, all our guests, our cops officers, I want the major, the corporals, everybody for coming out. I want to thank everyone. Miss McGann, Vince, Miss Ferguson, everyone. I want everybody to have a great evening. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Night.
Night.